All right, y'all, we're going to take a look at this boudoir photography business today. We're going to see if, for these two Google searches, if BSS is present. Now we're back here in the GBC universe where we're taking declining boudoir photographers to the #1 boudoir photographer in their city. As always, our North Star is FSIC, full spectrum intent capture. And that's because FSIC explains why all boudoir photographers either rise or fall. So got our FSIC, kind of our graph here in white. Highest intent people on the left, Google search, social search, they're searching for boudoir photo shoot in their city right now. The videos talk about here, dealing with that, BSS. Over on the right, we got the lowest intent peeps. We got to reach them through interruption ads, Facebook, Instagram. They are not searching for boudoir photo shoot in their city right now, and they most likely have no idea what the heck it even is. So we talk about that in our sister brand, Boudoir FB Ad Doctor, where we talk about BLCS. And currently over there, we currently only work with boudoir photographers spending more than 10 grand a month in boudoir Facebook ads. All right, so BSS, boudoir search sameness. So boudoir photographer has either 0 or 1 slots on page 1 on Google. 0 slots, we're dead. If we're in page 2 or deeper only, and that's because we know that approximately 80% of Google searches never even hit page 2. So we're invisible to approximately 80% of the market, which would be the buyers from page 2. We got to be on page 1. And 1 slot on page 1 is not good enough either, because everyone, literally everyone is, the other 9 boudoir photographers that'll be there, because organic search has 10 slots on Google. None other boudoir photographers, everyone's got 1 slot. We're looking the same as everyone else. We're still invisible, not looking at anything special. And boudoir photographers, or buyers, when they go and search, they're actually approximately 80% only use page 1. So they click on everyone on page 1, open up the website, fill out their contact form, contact them, price shop, compare, you know, and drive margins down, drive price down, negotiate, waste everyone's time. And so BSS is just bad for everyone. Well, bad for all boudoir photography businesses. Now, 0-1 slots on page 1 of Google is not normal. It's actually the symptom of 2 deeper root causes. So it's common, it's accepted, it's not normal. It's 2 deeper root causes are market saturation and the false belief of page 1 equality. So basically everyone knows market saturation. Yeah, you'll get new gear over time, new iPhone, new camera, and then decide to start posting or, throw up their Google My Business profile saying they offer boudoir photo shoots now. Or, and they got their boudoir website, ranking page 1 on Google, competing with all of us. And they're also posting them on Facebook groups and they shoot boudoir now, offer boudoir shoots now. So everyone knows about that. Kind of more sellers for the same number of buyers makes it harder for each seller. Also saw a ton during COVID. People lost their jobs but still need to earn money. And as a result, they actually went and, basically they went and had super saturation for in a lot of cities. Now, if also with page 1 equality, very few people know about that, if any. And this is basically assuming every boudoir photographer gets either 0 or 1 slots on page 1 on Google. And it's kind of a coin flip if you get 0 or 1. And maybe you did have 1 slot on page 1 on Google, but then someone else ranked better with their new website, that entered the marketplace. So you got kicked off to page 2, and then you're like, oh, well, that's simply how it is. And then you hope they delete their website and Google de-indexes them so you can get back onto page 1. Wrong, wrong, wrong. This is 100% incorrect. And I know this because I went from 0 out of 10 slots page 1 on Google to 9 out of 10 slots page 1 on Google in only 10 days. So I know that Google will actually give as many page 1 slots as you want to put in the effort to acquire. 100% guaranteed. And I know because I've done it. Now, boudoir photographer with BSS is a disappearing boudoir photographer, DBP. Yeah, man. So if you're on page 2 or deeper, invisible to approximately 80% of the market, you're obviously disappearing. And if you're on page 1 but only have 1 link, looking the same as the other 9 competing boudoir photographers there, you're also disappearing. You're invisible. Your margins are definitely disappearing, even if you are getting inquiries. And as a result, we say this DBP, disappearing boudoir photographer with BSS, it's kind of the check engine light, the first flag, the canary in the coal mine that the boudoir photography business itself is going on a path to totally disappearing. Luckily, we found the solution. We found it because we discovered it and we created it. We found that BSS is treated with social search saturation, aka S cubed methodology. And I mean, it works exactly as the name says. We saturate social search with the highest intent boudoir buyer keywords. That's kind of like the snow at the top of the backside of the Andes Mountains in South America, the east side. And, that snow melts, goes into small streams, small rivers, and then it all flows into the massive Amazon River. That's page one on Google search, but it all starts with the snow up at the top. That's our social search saturation. Without the snow, there ain't no rivers. And this is actually the only solution for boudoir photographers I've seen that can still allow boudoir photography business to grow in spite of massive market saturation relatively quickly without even having a brand, a large known brand. And we know because, brands take 5 to 10 years to build up a large known brand. Dude, we ain't got 5 to 10 years. AI's here taking people's jobs. We need maximum exposure, page one, social search, Google search right now. And so waiting to build a brand ain't going to do that. And actually, my estimate is utilizing S-cubed methodology will actually speed up the process of having a large, well-known brand by approximately 8x. So imagine you're a large, well-known brand, people come to you, and you're still utilizing S-cubed methodology, you'd basically be untouchable, no matter how much market saturation is there. So an example for S-cubed methodology allowing or enabling a boudoir photography business to still grow in the face of market saturation is, let's say we got 1 million boudoir photographers in LA, and we're one of them. Everyone's got a website saying they shoot boudoir photography, and they are, everyone's got their website trying to rank page one on Google. There's only 10 slots for 1 million boudoir photographers. Insanely competitive. Everyone's being price shopped down to zero margin because there's so many competitors. And as a result, we are, since we don't have a brand, the only other solution we got is S-cubed methodology. So we take it, we crank it up to the max. Now let's say for the highest intent boudoir buyer keywords, what actually happens is, let's say we're taking up the first 300 slots on social search for all sorts, social media platforms for the highest intent boudoir buyer keywords. And as a result, that flows onto Google page one, and we actually get 300 slots for Google. Well, the first 10 slots, it's 10 organic slots per page. So the first we're taking up basically the first 30 pages is essentially only us. So boudoir buyer would basically have to go to page 31 to find any of our competitors on Google, and same on social search. They'd have to social search, scroll down all the way to slot 301. And so in this case, whose business is growing? If we're taking up essentially all the slots, anyone, everywhere, wherever anyone looks on social search. Well, we're probably the only business still growing because we're essentially the only one they can find. Everywhere they look, it's only us. So, this is a maximum example, but this is the magic of S-cubed methodology that could happen. Now, once true with S-cubed methodology, we have page one visibility. And we get a second initial benefit, which is we're able to kick competing boudoir photographers off page one, effectively making them invisible. So this actually benefited a lot of boudoir photographers like more. This is the more slots we get. Page one, first benefit, we actually kick our competing boudoir photographers off page two, second benefit, making them invisible to the approximately 80% of boudoir buyers searching on Google. And page one visibility activates boudoir search visibility for us. We care about, the GBC universe recommends to have 3 out of 10 minimum number of slots page one on Google. And the reason for that is, basically everyone else is gonna have 1 slot. So our 3 slots versus 1, they're 1. We're gonna look amazingly exceptional against them. And on the rare chance someone has 2 slots, well, we're dominating them as well. That's kind of basically guaranteeing us winning in all scenarios. And obviously we can increase that above 3 if we want. And a boudoir photographer with BSV, boudoir search visibility, is a visible boudoir photographer, a VBP. So this is our micro universe here. A disappearing boudoir photographer with boudoir search sameness is caused by the dual horns of market saturation and page one equality, or the false belief of page one equality. Thankfully, we finally now have a solution, S-cubed methodology. We achieve page one visibility. We become a visible boudoir photographer with boudoir search visibility. All right, now my results, quick results with me, utilizing S-cubed methodology for myself. I want to dominate page one on Google for this search term, BLCS boudoir. So I started with 0 out of slots, page 1, 0 out of 10 slots, page 1 Google search. And I started utilizing SQ methodology. So here we go. Organic Instagram slot, page 1, me. Slot 2, me. Slot 3, me. Slot 4, me. Slot 5, me. Slot 6, me. Slot 7, me. Slot 8, me. Slot 10, me. And so I went from 0 out of 10 slots, page 1 on Google search to 9 out of 10 slots, page 1 on Google search in only 10 days, purely utilizing SQ methodology. Did not even have a website. So these are the results I've gotten with it. And so now we're going to check if this boudoir photography business, well, you saw in my picture, I definitely don't have BSS, boudoir search sameness. So we'll see if this boudoir photography business has boudoir search sameness for these two searches. We got a local search, then we got kind of the larger city search. So first one, we got West Pasco, Washington. And let's see. So, all right, we got one. Boom. We got two. All right, so we do not have BSS. Nice. I wonder if Boudoir by Rebecca is the same one. I'm not sure. Okay, there we go. You're in Pasco, Washington. So we got three. All right, dude, we hit perfect. This is exactly what I want to see. I want to see at least the GBC minimum. So we do not have BSS for this Google search. Now we'll check. Now we'll check kind of for the larger city area. So go down to the organic. So larger city area, Tri-Cities, Washington. So we got one. Two, right there, the threads. Three, couples boudoir. Okay, that's fine. It's got boudoir in it, so we got three. Hey, this is actually perfect. So we do not have BSS, and actually for local and city, they've met the GBC minimum of 3 out of 10. So hey, dude, that's perfect. So we can confidently say they're probably not a disappearing boudoir photographer. Well, they don't meet it categorically because they don't have BSS, but probably not disappearing. They're most likely treading water or growing. So I got the the 3 out of 10. So it's perfect. This is what we want to shoot for. And then for those that want to keep growing the momentum, take more page 1 search slots, as many as possible. So if you're a disappearing boudoir photographer, you've done local search for the highest intent buyer keywords in your city, and you saw in your local area, and you did a second search in your city, and you saw that you actually do have BSS in one or both of the cities, or you saw that you did not meet the GBC recommended minimum of 3 out of 10 page 1 slots, and you're saying, oh, finally, thank the universe, something to finally solve this. SQ methodology is here, so you decide you want to use SQ methodology, and that's because page 1 equality is a false belief, which allows you to even look for a solution in the first place. And once you do that, you like the initial benefit, more slots on page 1. You like the other initial benefit, kicking more competitors off of page 1, so that way fewer, your price out against way fewer number of boudoir photographers. And you understand the market saturation. Yeah, there's two prongs. People get a new iPhone, cool, more boudoir photographers. People get a new camera, cool, more boudoir photographers. But you're actually thinking of this new third prong. You're thinking ahead. You're saying, okay, AI is taking a few people's jobs now. It's going to keep taking more and more people's jobs into the future, into the future, into the future. And as it takes more and more people's jobs into the future, into the future, into the future, you actually want to fortify your position on page 1, prepare for the onslaught of new boudoir photographers, be forced into the market, because look, people still got to earn money. If they lose their job, they got a phone with amazing cameras. So we know new boudoir photographers will always be entering. And so you want to fortify your position, kind of like the levees down in Nolens, Louisiana, because that city's like below sea level. So they got to throw the levees up, extra fortification, so they don't get flooded. So you're seeing that, and you actually saying, okay, SQL methodology can also use for exactly that, fortifying your existing presence, page one, and across all social search. And you actually want to have page one visibility, become a visible boudoir photographer, and achieve boudoir search visibility, because you need those things in order to become the #1 boudoir photographer in your city. And you also like the extra back-end things that SQ methodology does, where if you successfully execute it every day, you're increasing the probability every single day. Well, we execute it every day, that AI overview will recommend you. And that's because when we do SQ methodology, we're actually building these invisible thematic keyword columns for AI search to take in, kind of occupy more and more AI mind space or brain space in all these different AIs. So we're building different invisible thematic keyword columns, kind of like columns with Parthenon, Athens, and Greece, or like hub and spoke, like a bicycle tire, or where the hub in the middle are, or at least our business name across all socials and our website is the hub in the middle. And as we build these up more, we got more frequency, more authority, more relevance, more age. So all these increase the probability of us being recommended for the premium placement AI overview, and us being recommended in all the AI search platforms, ChatGPT, Claude, Perplexity, Microsoft Copilot, Google Gemini. And as a result, kind of this like invisible momentum we can build up. And you're saying you decide you're going to be the first one in your city to do this, because that my current plan right now is to work with only one boudoir photographer at a time. So you can actually close out all your competitors from doing this, get all these initial benefits, build up this invisible momentum, put a massive gap between you and the current boudoir photographers, and especially the future boudoir photographers that will eventually become boudoir photographers as AI eats more and more jobs. And you also know doing SQ methodology also supremely speeds up forming your own brand. So it helps compete against current market saturation, and doubly so, helps your brand become a household name way faster. My estimate is probably 8 times faster than traditional ways. Just because, dude, we're everywhere all the time. Social search, Google search, AI search. Just people won't be able to get away from us. And on the flip side, you see that if another competitor, if one of your competitors in your city works with me, and we do all those things for them, they get all those initial benefits, and the momentum built up for the secondary later on benefits, then what actually happens is there's a big gap between me and your competitor and then you. And to close that gap, you got to increase the well, first you got to rederive or derive for yourself the first time SQ'd methodology, how it actually works and how to successfully implement it. And then you got to go execute it day, and equal our effort. And if you do that correctly, well, you're never going to be 100% confident executing it, because you'll never be 100% confident you've derived it correctly. But even if you're equaling all our effort, you're simply maintaining the gap between me and your competitor and you. And so to outcompete us, you got to rederive it correctly, figure it out all correctly, and then you got to out execute us by like 2 or 3x. And it's like, dude, who's got the 80 hours in the day to do all that? So you decide to screw that. It's better for you to actually be the first mover in your city, lock out all your competitors from using this, and kind of roll this to victory. So if that's you, shoot me a DM when my DMs open. My DMs are currently closed. The hospital is currently closed to new patients. But when I do open my DMs, shoot me a DM, and we will see if you qualify to utilize S-cubed methodology.